Hi, hello, sau bona, everyone. I'm making this video in English in honor of all the people who have been joining this channel of Humanos Unidos, Ronnie Diaz, and basically I'm gonna explain to you a little bit about why is this channel, and this is a show that I have. It's called Ronnie TV, and well, basically, this channel started because we have a community. Well, I created a community about 5 years ago, from all over Latin America, and the big purpose is to unify the people in Latin America, unified all the countries and bring the borders down and learn to be brothers and sisters and just be one land, one heart. That's the whole purpose of this community. And I don't mean by bringing the borders down by, there's a lot of politics involved, and there's a lot of governments, and I don't mean bringing the borders down physically. I mean bringing the borders down with our heart, with our convictions, with our way of being as human beings. So this is how this channel is created, because in the other social media that I have, I don't have much space to expand in the topics that I talk about, and the topics are regarding basically inner work. So in order to become a change in the world, we have to start changing ourselves within. And I don't talk about politics or religions or anything else. I just talk about the change we can be inside. And I teach a lot of different kinds of lessons, and there's always a topic per video. So welcome to Ronnie TV. This is chapter number 6, the episode number 6. And I hope you like it. The rest of the videos, I'm going to be doing them in English and Spanish one in English and one in Spanish. So you will have the opportunity to see what kind of content we have. And since the message is always Latin America, we have to unify and be one heart, one love. And well, having people that speaks English, it opened my mind, and it's a new perspective that I had, because my first impulse was to unify Latin America, countries that speaks only Spanish, and there's a lot of racism and conflicts among countries in Latin America. And for me, it didn't make any sense why, if it's like in any country, to tell you the truth, any country, it doesn't matter if they don't speak the same language. It's like, why? We're all humans. And I forgot what I was saying. Okay, so now that I have people that speak English, it opened my mind to say, like, hey, why am I just focusing on Latin America when United States is part of the continent of America? And yeah, so also we have people from other countries. I had no idea. Like other countries all around the world, who were all the people who are Latinos that they live in a different country, and they have joined the community. So in the other platform, we are 160,000 people who are united, and we all think alike. We all want unity. We all want sisterhood and brotherhoods, and just become one big piece of land, with no barriers. It doesn't matter what you believe in. Talking about politics, or talking about religion, or talking about your sexual orientation, or your nothing of that matters. If you have a heartbeat, if your heart is beating, you are a human being and you deserve to be respected. All of us, we all deserve to be respected and honored. And we all have a special place in this world. And let's explore that. So welcome to my first episode in English. So the episode the episodes in this platform, YouTube, are a little bit more extensive and a little bit more different than the other platform that I have, because I have my time there, it's limited. So here I expand, and people can actually ask me questions while I'm doing the video. They can ask me questions and I can answer as all the questions that you have, and be more explicit about the topics. So today's topic is how to ask for forgiveness. So as we know, a lot of people, they talk about how important it is to forgive. And forgiveness, it's liberating. It requires a lot of inner work. So much inner work and so much of introspective. And it's a process that it evolves some of the most dense frequency energetically, or as people may say, hate, or basically hate and grudges and all that stuff. So it evolves. There's a process until you find in yourself how the space to forgive somebody. And there's a lot of literature about that. There's a lot of videos, and there's a lot of trainings and workshops that talks about forgiveness. But what about when we have to ask for forgiveness? We are humans. We all have hurt someone along our way, whether on purpose or not. It doesn't matter. We have hurt someone. And asking for forgiveness is as difficult as forgiving someone else. And the big difference here with asking for forgiveness is the awareness that we have while we're doing that. Because what's the purpose behind asking for forgiveness? First of all, is because the other person, it's important to us. And we know that with our actions, with our words, with whatever it is that we did, we hurt somebody's feelings. And by hurting another person, it could be that there's a lot of consequences that happens in that person's world when we do something like that, especially sometimes when it's a child. As a grown-up, we do things, and sometimes we don't think what's the people that are around us. And most likely, a lot of grown-ups have hurt kids' feelings. They're growing up. They're trying to figure out which role model they're gonna get. They're gonna follow. Which is the proper way to behave? How are they gonna interact with other humans? There's a lot of things going on in a child's mind. And when a grown up hurt a kid, sometimes they don't think twice about even asking for forgiveness, because it's a kid. Because it's like they don't put them in the right place as humans. They're individuals. Even if they're 1 year old, they're individuals. And then we have people that we have hurt, which are like brothers and sisters and parents and aunts and uncles and best friends, and people who are around us that we have hurt, but sometimes we don't bother to ask for forgiveness because sometimes we take it for granted that person's going to be there all the time, and that person has to forgive us, and that person have to take all the shit that we give, excuse my French, they have to take all the shit that we give them because we are we, and they have to take it whether they like it or not. That's who we are. And you know something, let me tell you, that's not a healthy way of being in the world. That doesn't serve anyone. And by asking for forgiveness, it's because we realize that our actions had a negative consequence in another person. And what we want to do when we ask for forgiveness is we want to amend what we have done. And because we care about that person. And now it's time to think about, it doesn't matter who that person is, even if it's a 2-year-old kid. A forgiveness have to come always after something we have done that hurt somebody. It's a big step. It's an example. Like all the lessons that I give in the community, Humans United, if we want to be the change, it has to start with us, within, inside of us. So we ask for forgiveness, and the first thing we have to do is to reach out to the person and ask the person that we want to amend what happened. Even sometimes, this is very, very common. Sometimes we know we hurt someone and we have no clue what happened. It is like, what on earth what on earth happened that I have no idea? It's like, and we have to be open for that. Because sometimes our actions, especially words, could be hurtful from somebody else. As an example, I had a friend long time ago. And we were watching TV in my house. And somehow, I don't know what I was doing, that I stood in front of the TV. And my sister said, "Hey, you're on the way." And I went like, "Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry." And my friend, he got so upset because of that. And it was like, yeah, you're on the way. Somebody told you you're on the way. You move. But for him, it was an insult. He was so offended by what my sister said to me. And it didn't make any sense to me. But the thing here is that in my friend's world, in his family, that meant a lot. It doesn't mean that I have to be offended everybody said something like that. It doesn't mean that I have to take that belief and make it mine. It only means that I understood that in his world, that was insulting. And I understood there's a new way of beliefs that I was not aware of. And the same thing happens when you hurt someone. You might say something that in that person's world, it could be the worst insult ever. But you know something? It doesn't have to make sense to you. What's important is that you have a conscience and you learn and you are aware of somebody else's world. You don't have to take it. You don't have to understand it. You just need to be aware of it and ask the person as a dialogue, as an open communication. If I want this to happen and you don't want me to use this word, which other word can I use so we can get to this action to happen without offending you? That's a way to open a communication. That's a way to open new possibilities of the other person to be completely sincere. And one, that person is going to feel respected. That person is going to feel heard. That person is going to know that person is important for you and that you respect their space, their way of being, and their beliefs. And sometimes you may not agree to what is offensive or not or hurtful to the other person. And the main thing is that, okay, we agree to disagree, and that's perfect. That's healthy. People don't have to agree all the time with everything. Everybody have different upgrowings. Even siblings. If you ask a sibling about their parents and the other siblings about the same parents, they're gonna have a different version of who their parents are. That's how we are individuals. So you look for the other person to open up. And sometimes, I don't know if you have heard, and I'm guilty of this. Same as me, same as things that I have done when I have said, okay, just forgive me then. That's not asking for forgiveness. You are conditioning the person when you say that. One, you're shutting down that person. You are not willing to actually take responsibility of what you did. You are commanding the other person to forgive you, but you are not in the position to listen. It's like, okay, I'm telling you to forgive me because that's what I want, because that makes me feel good, and I don't give a shit what you think, what you feel, and how you are. That's all. That's what's happening in that situation. And I have done it. Or another example, it's like, if you haven't done that, then I haven't said what I said. So that's another way to shame and blame the other person. You are not taking responsibility. You are blaming the other person for something that the person did that triggered you, so you reacted. So what happens there is that you're not taking responsibility for what you did. So what you're saying in the example that you're doing in that time is that you're saying, you better walk on eggshells, because if I react, it's your fault. And that's not a humble way to ask for forgiveness. It's you are controlling and manipulating the other person, and what the other person, instead of feeling her like somebody's listening to me, you comprehend the way that I am. It's traumatizing, because it's like, wow, I cannot express myself. And it's a basically the result is the other person will shut down and will not feel free to express his or her at the fullest when that person is around you. Because whatever they do, if that makes you upset, it's their fault. Instead of one taking responsibility to what we say and how we say it under whatever condition. So When we ask for forgiveness, we are prepared to listen and to hold the space for the other person. Just listen. When people are upset, first, they make a lot of stories in their head, a lot of stories. So, and there's a lot of dialogues, internal dialogues about what happened. And that dialogue goes to the next level and to the next level, to the next level. So when you go with the person that you want to ask for forgiveness, that person's going to have a big story. Believe me, huge story. And your position is to just listen. Just listen. Listen to whatever that person needs to get out. Give the person the space to let everything out. Just whatever comes from their chest. Because they're liberating, and they, even though they start yelling and screaming, whatever, they know at the end you're there to listen. And you're there to hold the space for that person. And no matter what, there's going to be a connection. First time is the most difficult one because it's a new way of communicating. But after a while, it's like, okay, there's a dynamic that we can dance in this communication. So if ever happens again, we can resolve this like super fast. And you have a healthy relationship with that person. So first of all, you listen and listen and listen and listen and listen. Whatever that person has to say, okay. And they're going to come up with a big story. And that's okay. And they're going to come up with all the internal dialogues and all the stories they made up and blah, blah, blah. And they're going to bomb it all over you. That's okay. Hold the space. When that person is done, then you can talk and say, okay, now I understand where are you coming from, and now I understand where I did this or said this that offended you. That was not my intention. And I take full responsibility of what I did. That's number one. Take full responsibility of our actions. So in that moment, that person will know that the moment she got triggered, you're taking responsibility of what you did. And it's not just taking responsibility, it's making the commitment that you're not going to do it again. It's making the commitment and coming to a mutual agreement that says, okay, when I said this, you got triggered by this. So I'm not going to say it again, or I'm not going to do this again because it hurt you. So that's the way you start having an open communication and learning about the other person, that what triggers them, and you can learn. And then after you take full responsibility, that go like, oh, wow, when I did this, you got offended. Okay, I didn't know. So now you take the responsibility, make the commitment, and then it's your turn to say, hey, what you the you're not gonna say the story that you made, but or maybe it depends on how open the no, because you're gonna blame the other person. No, you can say, hey, when you said this, it actually, I wasn't coming from that space. I just wanted to do XYZ, but it was misinterpreted because you were already angry and you thought that I did this, but in reality, this is what I wanted to do, or this is what I wanted to say. So there's an open communication. Once the other person knows that you are listening to him or her, that you clear out, you took responsibility. Now it's your time to say, to clear the space and said, this is how you interpret. This is what my intention was. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to make you wrong or anything like that. So those are the steps to ask for forgiveness. I hope you liked the video. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And as I finish each and every video that I do, I always say, and actually, welcome to the community of Humanos Unidos, you Humans United. We are Humans United. We love and respect each other. There's no difference among any of us. We are one. There are no borders dividing us. We are inclusive. It doesn't matter your politics, beliefs, your religion, your sexual orientation. It doesn't matter what race are you, what country are you from. It doesn't matter. We are one. We are America, Latin America, the whole continent. We are one. Thank you so much, Saubona. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. And see you in the next episode of Ronnie TV. Thank you. Oh. By the way, if you like the video, please put like. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, activate the little bell of notifications bell, and put in the comments where are you listening from. I will love to have a conversation with you. And thank you so much. And from now on, I'm going to be doing 2 versions of each video, one in English and one Spanish. So you all get to have the content that I share with my community. Thank you so much. And please do subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, please share it and ask other people to join the channel. Thank you so much. Love you, love you, love you. Bye.